Baby girl, let's watch K-All. Go and subscribe right now. If you don't, I will find you and take you to the upside down, upside down. Upside down, upside down, kiss, kiss. Upside down, kiss, kiss. Hello everyone and welcome back to K-All. I'm your host Angel and today I'm really excited because we are getting into BTS is back. Because BTS is back. We had an OT7 live just last night, which unfortunately I did not make it for because it was like 1 a.m. and I was asleep for the first time ever. It's okay. We're gonna get through it and we're gonna move on. But what I wanted to do today is just quickly log on and discuss all things BTS, discuss the comeback, discuss this live that they had, do a little brief overview of what went down, and kind of share what I think needs to occur for their tour and their upcoming set list. Now, if that sounds like fun, if you're ready to sit back, relax, have a little chat about BTS and whatever else may come up in the K-pop realm, without further ado, folks, let's get it. To recap today's live, I feel like we could best use what I believe it was Hobie tweeted on BTS's Twitter account in 2017. He said, as expected, the best thing about being bulletproof is getting to hear bulletproof songs first, right? Or in other words, the best thing about being BTS is that we get to listen to BTS songs before everyone else. So that was definitely the vibe of today because they spoke about how good their new album is and how it kind of encapsulates everything that we've been wanting and what we've been waiting for as they return. It's going to be very grand. It's going to be incredible, and there's a lot of songs. It is a full album, which is something we haven't really gotten since 2020, when you think of it. Since Proof was an anthology album, which was released in 2022, this is the first time that we're getting like that full-length, solidified BTS music, and I couldn't be more excited about it. But what was perhaps the most startling about today's live and the most overwhelming for me personally, and I'm sure a lot of other ARMYs out there, was the sheer amount of references they made to old BTS songs, going way back all the way to 2013 and beyond, even pulling out deep cuts like Japanese songs. They went through it all. And how did this occur? It's all because they asked ARMY, what songs do you want to hear on our comeback tour? So I actually comprised a playlist that details almost every song that they mentioned on the live. I might have missed a few. Comment below if there's something that you notice is missing. As I pull this up, I want to go through it a little bit and just talk about the significance of if they actually perform these songs and the magnitude and how I think they can make this possible and how they should do it. J-Hope said that one of the songs he is most excited to perform is Mic Drop because that is like BTS's quite literal mic drop moment. It is the power song, the song that he is so excited to perform live as a full group. And it makes a lot of sense because he did include that in his set list for Hope on the Stage. So I'm sure it's become a hunger to perform it with his other members on stage. And I feel that hunger. I want to see Mic Drop right now. Mic drop. Mic drop. And Jin, of course, said he wants to perform their most famous song, Dynamite, to which Yoongi was like, come on, like, of course we're going to sing Dynamite. Why would you even say that? Which was really funny. And then they mentioned the ciphers, which I think a cipher medley could definitely be possible, considering the fact that Yoongi did that for his August D-Day tour. And it also poses the question of if it's possible we might get a cipher on this new album. I feel like it might be a little bit out of reach, but at the same time, with everything going on in the world today, with everything the members endured in the military, perhaps the rappers were ready to get behind the mic and do a little bit of ciphering. I don't know, but I'm going to put it out there. And the craziest plot twist of all would be if V had a chance to be on Cypher Part 5. I mean, V, the Roman numeral, is 5. So maybe that's a sign. Maybe he's supposed to be on it. I don't know. You didn't hear it from me. They also mentioned Spring Day, which I think they can have an OT7 concert without singing Spring Day, at least as an encore or as a surprise song, which I will explain what I mean by that momentarily. They also mentioned Louder Than Bombs, how that is the most missed song by ARMY. That is the song that is constantly echoed back to them, even though it is a hard song to sing. Louder Than Bombs is wanted. It is practically begged for. So I do think because of that very factual information, BTS is going to give what they what they need to give, you know? They're gonna give us louder than bombs, and we're all gonna sing, and it'll sound like the gates of heaven are opening up. They also mentioned Let Me Know, which is a crazy poll, like Dark and Wild? What do you mean you rock with Dark and Wild like that? Pied Piper, to which V got up into the choreo, showing that it's still ingrained in his brain. I personally don't know if I'd be able to handle a performance of Pied Piper live. We have to keep in mind, I don't know about anyone listening here, if you have seen BTS before, if you had the chance to witness their incredible superstardom in real life, but I have not seen all 7 of them in the same place at the same time, let alone performing on the same stage together. So I think I would go into overdrive if I heard I'm Taking Over You, if I heard Pied Piper, if I heard the ooh, ah, ooh, ah, ah, ah. So I'm a little bit afraid of that, but I also want it desperately. And I think it has to be followed by Dimple because those songs are married. Like, it's the only way. It's holy matrimony. But whatever. Let Go was also mentioned. Crazy. I didn't know that Japanese songs were on the table, and Namjoon said the song that he really wants to perform is Crystal Snow. So is it possible that we could hear Jin's triple high note in person on this tour? That's a lot. That's a lot to process. But BTS, if you're listening, I'm very grateful you brought up Japanese songs like Let Go, Crystal Snow, Film Out, and of course Don't Leave Me. But if you're going to do a Japanese track, please do Line Part 2 on Oba Shode. That is my favorite song, my favorite BTS song, next to UGG, of course. But I would do anything to hear Anova Shode. So please, please, hear me, hear my prayers. You don't even have to perform Like if you don't want to. Please perform Like. It's a great song, but Anopa Shode is basically Like Part 2. So I will accept that if that happens. Manifesting. That's my little secret wish that's not a secret. And they mentioned Microcosmos, however you pronounce it, Silver Spoon, Bapsy. Also very afraid to see OT7 of that. They did in fact mention UGG, which I was very appreciative of. And if I rule the world, I do it all. I do it all. If I Rule the World is such a crazy poll as well. And then, of course, the most beautiful moments in life. You have to have Butterfly and Whalian 52. I'm a whale. They mentioned Coffee, Just One Day, Embarrassed, and they spoke about the blanket kick choreo, where there's the bed involved on stage and a little bit of imaginary kissing. So Jimin was, I believe, talking about how he hates that now, seeing it, but it's 2026. I feel like BTS Chapter 2, they can bring back Embarrassed. They can bring back Blanket Kick. Are you not embarrassed? And they also mentioned Second Grade, which kind of fits perfectly because Chapter 2 is second grade. Perfect. They mentioned Hip Hop File. Hip Hop File? That is my song. As a Dark and Wild enthusiast, I wish I was wearing the Dark and Wild jersey right now. That is my song. As is We On from Oh Are You Late Too. Whatever they say, here for my music, here for my music, here for my music. They mentioned Boy in Love, Spinebreaker, Tomorrow, Stay Gold. Guys, this list goes on and on and on. Life Goes On, of course, Rain, Best of Me, which means Jimin and Jungkook dance break. Yes, please. Miss Right, you know I want you kiss right. Love Maze, and Deep Breath. Paradise. The other forgotten song. Paradise. I would love to hear Paradise, as I would love to hear 134340, and quite honestly, all of their songs. Magic Shop. They even mentioned Moving On, which is a crazy pull, but not as crazy as Graduation Song, which I like to think that I manifested that with my graduation reel that got 1.3 million views, I think. So BTS, if you're watching this and if you saw that, it had Graduation Song. But there is one song they didn't mention besides Ano Bashode. They didn't mention Oh Happy Days. If you're going to bring back Graduation Song, you should bring back that. And you know what else you should bring back? Yeah, Beautiful Girl. You're my religion, so I can call you She's Us. Come on, Jungkook. I know it's literally 7. 7 and She's Us. I don't know. They're kind of just the same playing field. But they also mentioned my other favorite song, Heartbeat. A song that I didn't even think they remembered making since it was for a video game, but I think if that would be my downfall Hearing that song live, I don't think I'd be able to leave the stadium. So please play that. Please perform it. Disease, of course, another Soul song. No More Dream, which would be really funny seeing the 2026 version of No More Dream 13 years later. Kind of iconic. Go Go, and then Jimin suggested that they ended on Epiphany by Jin. The fact that he wants to end it on Jin's solo song is where I bring up my surprise song set idea. As some of you may be aware of, Taylor Swift and her Eras Tour is kind of known for the surprise song segment. This is an acoustic segment where she will perform a surprise song at each stop that's different from the previous one. And if it's a song she has performed at another stop, she'll do a mashup with another one of her songs to create something entirely new, and it's played on the piano or the guitar. So the reason why I bring this up is that BTS have hundreds of songs. So obviously they can't perform everything, or else the concert would be like 6 hours long, probably even longer than that. And in order for ARMY to kind of have a little fresh experience of all of their new music, because think about all the solos they've released over the past couple of years that have never seen the light of day. Yes, J-Hope toured. Yes, Yoongi toured. Yes, Jin toured. But when you think about the rest of them, besides doing a couple concerts here and there, they really haven't had a chance to perform all of their new bodies of work or the droplets that were released over the years. So I have like a couple ideas of how this surprise song setup can go, so I want to present a couple of them to you. One of like the main primary ideas is that there's a wheel and there will be a bunch of different BTS songs that aren't on the set list. The wheel will be spun, and then whatever song it lands on is the song that gets to be for the surprise set. Now, ideally, if they could perform 2 songs for the surprise set, I would like an alternative wheel, where on this wheel, it's songs that are sung normally by one member. So it's one of their solo projects. And when the members spin that wheel, they have the choice of either performing it as OT7 or selecting a member's name out of like a jack in the box, and then that person has to perform the solo song, even if it's not their solo song. I think that would create like very organic, unique, exciting performances that would also like make it exciting for them, because it would be unexpected. It would be a bit of a surprise. And if for any reason the member who picks up the song doesn't feel confident singing that song by themselves, it could kind of revert back to the original singer or OT7. Like, can you imagine Jimin singing 7 and then having like Yoongi do Lotto's rap? We've already heard 7 with J-Hope, and that was legendary. Or Super Tuna OT7. It could be possible. Anything can happen with this surprise set. And the surprise set could occur in the middle of the concert. It could occur at the end of the concert. I think no matter where it's placed, it would be a special little moment for ARMY and BTS to kind of have a really fun engagement together. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be flawless. It just has to be entirely them. So that's my little idea. That's my evil genius plan. The fact that the comeback hasn't even been announced yet, the fact that we don't have tour dates, the fact that we don't know what's happening speaks volumes. So I'm hoping that we will get this news very soon, and that perhaps, don't look at my nails, they're really bad, guys, and perhaps the letter that BTS is sending out to gold memberships will reveal the ticketing day or when the tour starts. That's what I'm manifesting. And I'm also manifesting that they do not show up to New York for New Year's Eve, because then I'm going to have to try and make the trek, and that is very scary. So I'm just hoping they show up here next year and I get to see them 7 days a week. Because if they do 7 concerts, you better believe I will be at all 7 concerts. But that's it right now. Everyone just be on alert, pay attention. BTS is back. You never know their next move, and they don't know their next move. So we need to lock in and focus. Also life update. I am officially graduated. I am officially done with school. It's a celebration. It's very exciting. It's healing, and I am so excited to dive deep into making more content for you guys. So I'm sorry for the lack of content. I do have interviews on the way, so stay tuned for that. If you want to check out any of the fun stuff I've been doing, Go to No Jams Journaling on Instagram. Be sure to follow me, see what's happening there, and check out the bangtandatabase.com for more fun content. And that's pretty much it. Thank you for listening to this week's episode of K-All. I hope I come back to you soon with some more content, and I hope that you have happy holidays and enjoy your time. That's all for K-All.